Hello, what's next?
So now we're recording. And for those of you who are just joining us, take your circle, whoop, and your embossing tool or your nail file or whatever it is you're using, crochet hook, and trace the lines, the arcs of both of your circles. Now once that's done, you pause the video until that's done. Okay, so now I'm going to share my screen with you, which is this one over here. Okay. Full screen. Okay. So we'll start with one circle. Now on each of the circles, we will do 3 sections. We'll do the middle part and 2 opposite almonds. Have either of you picked any patterns that you're keen to do, or shall I just launch right into this?
You go right ahead.
Yep, exactly.
Okie dokie. So I figure we'll start with the two almonds of this one circle. These are patterns. I went way back in our class history here and pulled up some that we haven't done in ages, and I was embarrassed to see that there were a couple patterns that I had repeated on cards without really realizing it. Like we have so many patterns we could have done, but anyway. So we're gonna do printemps. Printemps, it looks like it's the one, so it means spring. So over here, we're just gonna do a bunch of spirals. So we'll start, oops, hang on. What I wanted to do is make it blacker. So you can just, you can do your little spirals while I'm getting my correct color going. There we go, okay. We'll just do some springs. And I'm gonna do a few different ones and alter the size of them and the number of coils. And I'm just wrapping them up, sort of like a cinnamon roll looking thing. And we can do something opposite direction too. Stopping at the edge, pretending it's going over. Woo. Now, once we've filled this in, we could either just leave it in black and white like this, or I mean, black on white. Another option is to go in and color in black all around, like the negative space around them. That would take a little bit of time right now, so maybe we won't do it right now, but. And we could even fill in the space with, oops, just some, oh, that's funny looking. Some little circles as well. Sort of bubbles, which again, we want to just leave it black on white, we can do that, or it's kind of a cool effect to color in the negative space all in black. It's an interesting different effect, like to see the chubbier springs versus the more tightly coiled ones. It's kind of interesting. I was going to use the camera with the tripod as I did last week, and you could see me actually doing it on the paper. And Todd was going off to his office, and I said, "Oh, hey, I'm going to need your camera. Is that all right?" He's like, no, I need it. Okay, come on.
Oops.
He's
I
making
think
a
you
deal.
were amazing to do it from the cafe.
That was interesting. Got all right though. But yeah, Todd's making one of his videos. Bless his heart, he's been working on this one for a little while. And he's tried filming it like 3 different times. And the first time it wasn't in focus. And the second time it was getting too dark. And the third time it was too windy, which makes a lot of noise. And like, okay, maybe today it's going to work.
That's cool. I like that design.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one that I don't use very often, but it's a nice little kind of.
It is. It looks nice and it's easy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
Mm.
And makes me hungry for cinnamon rolls, for better and for worse. So my husband loves, well, I mean, we all do now. We love the Pillsbury cinnamon rolls, which we just would buy in the grocery store. Telling June for her benefit because she wouldn't know because they don't have them here. You buy a tube of dough in the refrigerator section of the grocery store. You open it up with a pop and then put it on the cookie sheet and in the oven and bake it up, and it comes with icing as well. Great stuff. They don't have that down here. And the local chain of bakery that specializes in cinnamon rolls. Do you have oregano in Adelaide, June? Do you know oregano? Pardon?
Which one in Adelaide?
Oregano. Sorry, oregano. I have to make sure I say it right.
Oregano, that's a herb.
Yeah, but it's perhaps a Sydney-based bakery chain that specializes in scrolls. Anyway, they charge like $6 just for one cinnamon scroll, and they're all right, but it's a lot of money. So Todd actually got a recipe and makes them himself now.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, exactly. Not very often, which is good.
So we have Baker's Delight and we've got donut shops.
Yeah. Okay.
Krispy Kreme donuts as well.
Yeah, that is one that we have down here, down in Australia. Krispy Kreme.
Ah.
Yes. And there's one that looks like Dunkin' Donuts, but it's called Donut King. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm just doing a little section here so we can see what it looks like to have the black. So now they're like white springs on a black background, which is kind of cool. I crossed, a little difficult to color in on here. But yeah, kind of, we can have different sizes of circles. And it's like we did last time with kind of stars on a black sky.
Oh.
So anyway, that's what it looks like. We can do that or not. But now that we've started, I guess we'll have to finish it. But not right now. Okay, so the next pattern we'll do on the opposite flap here, opposite almond. It's kind of similar. I picked them intentionally, sort of similar, but certainly easy and different. So it's going to be garlic cloves, which we did early in the game. And we start with, you can just do dots. I'm doing them slightly bigger than dots so that you can see them, but just randomly spaced, placed dots. Not too close together because it'll get difficult to draw if they're too close. I try to make them random and then they start looking like they're in a line. It's like, no, I don't want a line. I want random. And we can add dots as we go too, but once we've got some dots, then we'll just connect them, starting with connect 2 dots with a straight line, and then add in a couple of curves. So now these really start to look like almonds, well, or garlic cloves. 2 or 3 lines, curved lines. And then we go to another one, and they don't have to be the adjacent ones, but oops, shoot by. And then it gets kind of tricky and cool when we connect them, and it's kind of, we have to pretend it's going behind there rather than through it. It was interesting going back and looking at all the classes we've had and the patterns we've done. This is like, I don't have it in front of me, I don't remember exactly, but something like the 35th class we've done.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty impressive. We've covered a lot of ground. I think it's probably good that we're doing these creations like cards and whatever, doing a bunch of them now, and that we should do them regularly, because otherwise you guys will be all caught up in my patterns that I've learned, and I have to quickly play catch up and learn new patterns. I'm really eager to make a Christmas card. It's getting a little late in the season, but we're not there yet.
I tell you what, funnily enough, I've got a Christmas card here that's going to my grandson and his wife and family, and I don't like that space at the top. So I've found a tangle pattern yesterday I want to do in a little pencil square that I've already put there, and then I'm going to write Merry Christmas. And because then I've got 2 grandsons and 1 granddaughter, so I have to make everything nice for them.
Nice. Yeah, this time of year especially, I always have a to-do list going, but especially this time of year. And I just have to prioritize, as everybody does. So I have not made my card yet. I decided, like even the first year we were here, that by golly, so the school year ends right around the same time as Christmas. So it makes for a busy time of year. And I decided that doing Christmas cards in December just wasn't going to work for me. So I decided to do them. Well, the other thing is that postage to North America costs an arm and a leg. And so since I forget when we started it, but decided that we'll take the cards back with us when we travel overseas, which is always in the summer or winter, whatever, June, July. That way I can post them while in North America, and it's cheaper. So now I just do the cards in June and July instead of, well, for any overseas recipients, they get them in June, July. And this year, because we didn't travel anywhere, we did a digital card, and it was a cooperative effort in that I picked the photo and wrote the text, which was a modified poem actually. But my dear son, the computer programmer, designed a card, so he put it on our website, and we had the link which we'd send to people, and they would open the link, and it looked like a Christmas card, and you click on it and it opens up like that. And
nice.
so it was a professional-ish looking card. Yeah.
Nice.
I might send that to you girls just for kicks.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Very talented lad you have there.
Yes, he is skilled. And proud mama moment, he got first in digital technology for his grade this year.
Nice, nice.
Year 8.
Wow. How did he get that old?
I know.
He was just a little tiny kid when he left here.
Precisely. Yep, I don't know. He's up to my eyes now, I think.
Wow.
What? Aren't you? Oh, my nose? Halfway up my nose? I forget.
Oh, he hears us talking about him.
Yep. Oh, his ears are always prickling. And being the only child, he's always like, oh, you talking about me?
Who else
We
are
are.
you talking about? Right.
Sometimes we are. But sometimes we're actually talking about the dog now. All right. Anyway, so I haven't quite finished that space, but we'll move on to the next one anyway. We'll do let's move to the other circle and do the flaps on that one just because I chose them in order of complexity. Oh, so I need to figure out how I'm doing this here. This, actually, no. Let's move that one over. Bring this one to the forefront. Move that back over here. There we go. Okay, so now we'll work on our other one. You know, I just realized what I haven't told you, and it's not a big deal, but we should have been doing this on the reverse side of where we embossed it. Oh well.
Oh well,
One.
that happened.
Hey, sorry. Lousy teaching, I know. So on this one, it's basically the same deal, but flip over the paper. And actually that way it doesn't matter that I did those lines, those arcs in pen, because it won't be showing that way anyway. So on the reverse side.
Can't see when we turn the paper.
Except I can't see where those things
Well,
are.
but can you see where it's embossed though?
Not really.
Oh no? Okay, well then do it the other side. Doesn't matter.
No, I'm just gonna.
Yeah, do it
No.
where the circles are. And
Doesn't matter. Whichever side works for you, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so again, we'll just do 2 of the almonds. And for these 2, so the first 2 I did there, I chose their kind of roundy ones. These ones are going to be grid-based ones. So the first we'll do is Gotta Go. I don't remember how that one, the name was chosen, but it's kind of fun. So this is just a straightforward grid. So we'll draw our, you can do them whatever direction you want. I do it kind of on a diagonal. Hey, this is kind of cool, realizing we have 1 Australian and 1 American joining us, which means that the A4 and 8.5 by 11 size templates worked.
11 is letter size.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Because being originally in UK, I knew that.
Oh. But you use A4 over there, don't you? In the UK? Yeah.
Yes, A4 too. But letter size is the other size.
Yeah, precisely.
My printer will change to either.
Oh, really? Because mine, well, whenever, if you accidentally tell it to print something on letter size paper, it says, change the paper in the tray. And
Yes.
of course we don't use letter size paper, so it's like, cancel that print job. And then, actually, no, it'll print it, but then it tells you again, change the paper in the tray. And it just keeps going and going.
Yes, they don't seem to sell letter size in big packs over here. It's always reams of A4, isn't it?
Yeah. You can't get letter size here. So on our Gotta Go here, pick a square, any square to start on. Once you've got your grid, and we'll do a little rectangle, which I'll just color in black there on the top left. Ugh. And then another one on the bottom right. Now I'm not trying to make them half the height. I'm trying to do them less than that, but I get finicky about it being straight enough. Whatever. There we go. So we're going to do these on the diagonal. So next one up, we'll do the same. Next on the diagonal. So I'm doing them about a third to, yeah, I guess it's about a third of the height, approximately. Not very straight. Erg. Pretend they're straight. Oftentimes I have to sit back and just look at the grid and go, okay, so which ones have I missed?
Mhm.
I have to follow it up diagonally and see if I got them. I have to get my star, speaking of which, if we want to do show and tell. Okay, once we've got one direction, then turn your tile 90 degrees because we're going to do the same thing in the leftover squares. So if you turn the tile or your head 90 degrees, I'm going to do the top left of that one, and bottom right. Oopsie. Come say hi, Zachy.
Hi, Zach.
Come around to this side, Zach.
Hi, Zach.
Hi.
Zach, do you remember Scarlett or Audrey or Windsor? Nope. Nope.
Nope. Oh,
Nope. That
I'm
was a long
insulted.
time ago.
So forgettable.
Zach, do you remember doing music with Mrs. Smith?
No.
Popcorn. There was
He
a
was pretty little.
girl. He was very little.
Yeah.
His name was Tiny Tim. I love that one. Put threw him in the bathtub to see if he could swim. He drank up all the water. He ate up all the soap. And now he's, what? Gone and sick in bed with bubbles in his throat. Bubbles.
Oh, did he do the little kids music thing with Tara?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was good at that.
Bubble, she was. Bubble, 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 pop! He loved that. We have him on video doing that when he was little, he and I. So cute. Oh, have fun. No, I'm all right. Thanks. Okay. So looking again at the diagonals here. Actually, we bought a little rebounder trampoline, one of those mini trampolines because of that music class. And he loved it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's where we first were using it, and that's what inspired us to get it. For his 3rd birthday. Oh, it's about learning rhythm and stuff. That was where we did the popcorn. My feet feel the rhythm of the popcorn. Pop, popcorn, pop, popcorn. My feet feel the rhythm of the popcorn. Pop, popcorn, popcorn, pop.
Oh.
I'm quite fond of Tara. And
Yeah.
I'm taking, yeah, she's my daughter, but
Yeah.
I'm taking violin lessons from her. And
Oh, good on you.
yeah, it's really fun. Yeah, she's awesome.
Cool. Good. That's wonderful that you should feel that way.
Well, yeah.
I mean, as everybody should, but that's good. I can't tell if I've got all of them, but anyway, once we've got all of them, and we might discover some we didn't get, we'll draw a diagonal line between, like within one square, between one tip and the other. So I start by doing them, gosh, that's not very typical. Go up the diagonal. And do all of those ones.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
They should be somewhat parallel if we've managed to do the rectangles about the same size, but why are there flies in my house?
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, I got one this morning. All right, diagonal, diagonal, diagonal. And then we can go the opposite direction from the tile or the head and go. That's a little too flat for that. Diagonal. Those. And if you come across a square that doesn't have the rectangles, you can just put them in. Like this one. It's cool how it's kind of a pinwheel, sort of. All right, I think that's all of them. So we can leave it like that, or we can go in. It's kind of fun to go in and put, I'd say triangles, except they're actually quadrilaterals. We can do that. Zach, do you want to tangle with us? No. He has ever. I used to teach his class sometimes. And we can leave. Oh, come on, you fly. Yeah, come back. Come on. We can leave those quadrilaterals as is, or we could go in and color them in or stripe them in. We'll leave that pattern for now and move to the opposite one on there, Crusade. I don't know if you remember that one. So Crusade's another grid-based one. So I'm going to try to make my grid at a different angle from that one just for kicks. So since that one's on the diagonal, I'll just do this one right across. Oops. And we could make them different size grid too, for that matter, depending if we want it similar or different. So let's say we're making it a little bit bigger. We could keep it the same size if we want consistency. Zach's loving having his first day of school holidays. It's 10 past 11 in the morning and he's still in his PJs.
Yeah. Nice. Sounds like all of COVID-19 to me.
We have been so fortunate down here that, like, you know, people are talking about, so glad this year is over. And it just, like, for me, my life just didn't change that much. For better.
Oh, you're lucky.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we are. We're very lucky here.
How are things in Adelaide now, Jean?
Absolutely lovely.
Oh, good.
They've discovered the reason, because they've been investigating it thoroughly. They discovered the reason that the security guard in the Peppers Hotel got infected was because the security guards actually sit in the corridors outside the people's rooms. And the Nepalese couple that infected him walked past him and probably said hello to him or something. And he just sort of sat there, but he became infected. And then he went home, not knowing that they were already infected.
Yeah, right.
They've been tested when they first came in, because the police and health authorities test all the repatriation flights. That's all it is. It's Australian residents getting home, you know.
Right.
And then apparently he went home and he's from a large family, and he took it home with his family.
Right.
They're thinking now of, apart from the security guards having to sit for their shifts outside the hotel rooms of each lot of people, they're thinking about having mobile infrared cameras to keep their eye on the people to
Oh,
save
wow.
any infection again. But
Yeah.
got it well under control. The
Goodness.
family involved have been isolated, quarantined, and all safe, and everything's going fine with it.
Good. And
But
the rest of Adelaide is out of lockdown?
oh, when we were supposed to have 6 days lockdown, it only ended up 3 days after
Good.
all.
Wow.
And we were delighted because we didn't mind 6 days lockdown. If they tell us, it's fine, but we had plenty of supplies indoors. But yeah, but no, the lockdown only lasted for 3 days, and now we're allowed up to 50 in our homes for Christmas.
Wow.
And weddings and funerals are allowed up to 200 people.
Wow.
I think it was from midnight last night or something. And in public bars and cafes, apart from people being forced to sit only on a table where it's got like 4 square meters
Right.
per person, now it's 2 meters per person, and people are allowed to stand and drink in bars. And guys were so pleased. There were pictures of two or three guys standing at the bar having a beer, you know. They were saying it's so nice to be able to do this and be back, because they often go into a bar perhaps on their way home from work, you know, and especially if they've been on construction sites. So it's really good.
Good, good.
And they really would like people to try and still not hug too much. They don't want us to hug people outside our sort of like family, yes. And but if we're going to big public places, the SA government have brought us their own scan code, so that when we go into shops, supermarkets, retail stores or chemists, we just, with the South Australian government app, as well as the federal government coronavirus app, COVID-19 app, we just scan the picture so that they know exactly that we've been in that store. And on our SA government app, it immediately, we signed into it last week when they brought it out. It shows our driver's license and our Medicare card, or 2 bits of information from us. So the government have all our details if we're out at the shops, especially chemists like us to go in, but our chemist delivers to us because it's just up at our little shopping centre, about 3k up the road, so they deliver to us, so we've got no problem.
Good, that's great.
It feels lovely for Christmas.
Yeah.
I'll be able to hug them all carefully.
So I've fallen a little behind in my audio instruction, my verbal instructions here. I hope you've been able to follow all right.
Yes.
Once we've got all our, whatever you want to call them, crosses and whatnot. Oh, now I'm going to double up these lines. Why did I come down straight? Okay. You're right.
Just trying to figure out what you're doing. Okay,
Yeah.
I think I got it.
From the short line, we did a line down into the middle of it, and now we're kind of outlining that line back to the corner. Yeah, I had to look at mine too, like, wait, what am I? Not crossing the middle, as it were, going back to the corner.
Oops, that's not straight.
Hmm.
Oops, that should have gone there.
All right, given the time, I'm gonna skip ahead to the other part of this, which is now, oh yeah, so these are like big arrows. So now we'll go up from the short line parallel to the grid lines here. Like that. So from the short line, go parallel to the grid line.
Parallel. Oh.
I'm a little surprised we don't have Peg or Helen Kennedy. Let's do that. They're at the same, as it were, streaming the same. All right, so anyway, that's what we do with our crusade there. That's much more involved than some of our other patterns. I guess you got it just to that. Okay, so now we need to fill in our middles. I figure one of them will do cuke. Well, we'll do that on here. If you remember cuke, it can be done in a grid or in circles or whatever. I think we'll do it in circles on this one. So I'm going to draw just some very round circles. They have to be pretty big, relatively, because we're going to be tangling inside of them, so don't make them too small. So inside of our circle, we're going to do a Y, like a peace sign or a Mercedes, whatever. Divide it into thirds. I've always done this with the one, so these are supposed to, or are inspired by cucumber wedges, and that it's got like seeds in the middle. And I used to always do one in the middle and then do it out from there. But I was noticing when I went over this that it doesn't have to be one in the middle. It actually, the ones I was seeing were having 4 of them, not 3. Oops. Come on. So it doesn't really matter how many, but kind of like that. So what I'm going to do is go up towards the middle. Whoa. Then move away from it. Like that.
Whoa.
Oh, nice.
And then inside of these, we do another smaller one. And color that in black. So basically we'll just do that with, oops, each of our circles here, living with the Y's and the seeds. And you can do some, yeah, bigger and smaller. You could make some touching if you wanted to. Play with it in different ways. That one's not very circular. Okay, in the interest of time, I'm going to go back and do the other middle bit. All right, oops, whatever, okay. So this other middle bit, let's do, what's it gonna be? Oh yeah, macrame. Don't know if you remember that one. So we started with a kiko, which you may also remember or not. Well, sort of kiko. Start with 4 short but equal length lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. Try to make them, like we actually want this to be kind of boxish, so space them out so that it's kind of square if possible. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we do 4 parallel to that one, or I mean perpendicular.
I went back on the first square. I was looking on the second square, wondering where you were.
Yeah, right.
Now I know.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's kind of like kiko there. Once we've got those, then we'll cap the open ends here with a little bit rounded line, little arc. And that's where it starts to look kind of like a knot or a rope string. Okay, now out of the flat sides of these, we'll make some strings and whatnot come out. So pick whichever side you want and just go crazy. And remember, these are going to be double, like we're going to double them up. So if you're going to do any looping, make sure you leave space for that. Oops. So now I'm going to carefully follow around.
Hello. Nice to be here.
Hello to whoever that was. Then we can go back to where it crossed. There we go. That space there. It's a little chubby in the middle. Oh well. And they don't have to connect one to the other. Shoot. Nice. Oh, I thought I had it, but I did not. All right. I can have them go out and just loop around, fizzle off, whatever. And if you have them just go out, they can finish in a few different ways. We could do kind of a droplet kind of finish, or we could have sort of a knot. Here, hang on, let me do the other width. So like with a knot, what we could do is just kind of do some loops around and then braid rope coming out the end. So those are different options for the macrame. You can just fill that whole space up with strings, whatever you want to do with it. Hmm. Okay. All right, so you'll fill up that space, and you know we can always go in and put in little bubbles and stuff if we've got extra space that we need to fill. But in the interest of time, I'm going to finish you off with the construction of this thing. Oh, right. So what you would do is finish your tangling and then go in and either do the shading or painting it. Oh, so I'm going to send you the link to the tutorial for this. And she does a cool job. I haven't tried it myself, but she applies some, I don't know if it's, I forget if it's pen or wax or whatever, but then she paints like a very light coat of watercolor kind of wash over it, and it just looks really cool. So there are different ways of finishing that off. And then, okay, so I'm going to stop my screen sharing for a moment here. A moment, or perhaps longer. Come back to real life here, and I'm going to show you. So you're going to, with your thingamahomers, circles. So you'll have the pattern on the outside here. So you want to kind of, along the crease lines, you want to just bend it in a bit.
Right. Yeah.
And you'll do that on each of your crease lines. And I've already folded mine in. That's why it's as easy for me as it is. It'll be a little more difficult for you. But you want to fold them all in the same direction with the pattern side out, the stuff that you've already tangled on the outside there. And then you do that with the other one as well. Let me know when you're done with your creases there. That's ridiculous. You should be able to do that. So have you got?
I'm just watching because I haven't finished my tangling yet.
Well, you could still do it now so that you can. I mean, you can go back and tangle it later as well. It won't be unfinishable.
Right.
I'd say go ahead and fold them now, June, just to get the feel for how to do it.
All four folding.
So you'll do that on both circles. So you've got 2 diamonds, squares. You want this one?
Okay. Well done that.
All right.
Yep. Got one folded.
Fun. Okay, let's pop to the other one and get the other one folded too.
Oh, maybe the file didn't work as well on that one. Oh no, that's all right.
Hey, Zach, do you know where yours is? Can you go look on the shelf, see if you can bring it to me? Yes. Thank you. Fabulous, thanks. Once we've got them folded or creased, whatever. Is it dark? Do I need to? Oh, I'm sick. How are you coming there? Have you got both of them creased, June?
Yeah.
Oh, June.
Ready. Okay, so now
Yeah.
Hard to describe. What we're going to do is they're facing each other. They're going to go on top of each other and go together. But what you do is you alternate which one is facing out. So you want the pattern one to be out, like
Ah, yes.
you've got, so one of them you'll have, you know, the blank one in the thumb and the middle finger position, or the, you know, five
Yeah.
positions, and the other one is the top and bottom. So
Yeah.
you gotta just kind of,
Oops.
yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, that's really neat.
Ta-da!
Good.
And then you
Ah,
got a
lovely.
nice little gift box for Christmas.
Yeah.
And here's the
Very
one I
cute.
made for Zach last year.
Cute.
Wow.
Ta-da!
And then do you stick them?
No, well, you don't need to, because theoretically, and it depends on the paper too, it might not work quite as well with cardstock, but with the water, I think I mentioned this in the email, with the watercolor, you know, 300 GSM, 140 pound paper, which is a little stiffer, it's just
Yes.
gravity, or not gravity, whatever, like spring loaded. So like Zach's here.
Ah,
So-
that's right. I've got 300 gossamer. So,
Tuck that in.
right.
Yeah, that's not staying.
So sometimes you just need to pinch the edges a little more,
Yes.
tighten them up, but it should stay.
Hmm.
I made the mistake last year of tangling all portions of the circle. So that's, if it looks funny to you, it's because I forgot. I mean, it doesn't really matter.
No. No.
Fun to look at. I haven't looked at this in a while,
Yeah.
but it's,
Nice.
so
Very
Tuck got one
fun.
as well, and I made one for myself too. And you know, we haven't done anything with them since, because what do you do with a gift box once you've got it? But it's fun.
Yeah.
It is. Very cool.
And for that matter, if you wanted to, and if it were small enough, you could even make it into a Christmas ornament. You could
Yeah.
hang it from the tree, or it's a great size for stocking stuffers.
Yeah.
The thing in itself is a cool creation, let alone what it's containing. So
Yeah, that's
there
true. You could.
go.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Yeah. Lovely.
Like it.
very good.
All
Fun.
right.
Thank you for joining me, ladies.
Ah,
Thanks for
thank you
doing
for
it.
teaching us. Yes.
Yeah.
Ah.
I'll
Have a
be in
great
touch.
Christmas.
Pardon me?
Have a great Christmas.
Thank you. You too. I'll be in touch by email about when we're going to resume. I don't know yet. I was thinking originally we would just have a couple weeks off next week and the Christmas New Year week, but I also don't know if my family might be going on holiday in January, to be determined. So I'll be in touch about that, and I'll also be in touch about what day and time, because flopping between Tuesday and Wednesday seems like, you know, it was a fun experiment, but I think I might just pick a day in the future. Time, and anyway, so I'll be in touch.
Alrighty.
I guess I can stop.
Merry
recording.
Christmas.